Well, I gotta say, guys, we welcome you back to the next episode of A Day in the Life. It is a beautiful evening. We are out and about going walking, and yeah, having a good time about that. Well, the moon is full tonight, and we're gonna have to show you guys the moon, as it is pretty nice. So, yeah, there is the moon. Look at that. Just beautiful when we all look at it. It is full. What about out there in Brady? There is hardly any light out there at my parents' ranch. And I gotta say, you can look at the moon and see the stars, the billions of stars, the Milky Way, the galaxy. It's just absolutely beautiful when we all look at it. But anyway, it is pretty nice. Well, there's my neighbor throwing trash away. Saw her at the other trash can throwing the garbage. But anyway, I gotta say, it's a beautiful evening for a walk. Just love it. Absolutely nice out here. But yeah, guys, this is probably not the reason why I'd be on doing an episode here this evening. A lot of us are probably knowing why I'm doing one as of this late. Right? But yeah, guys, Friday, we all have been temporarily placed on leave from our jobs because within a few hours from now, the federal government is pending a government shutdown. And well, I gotta say, that's not good for the federal contractors, for myself, and for a whole organization that I'm in called PCSI. And yeah, there's another organization out there, TRDI, Federal Contracting on base in Camp Bullis. All federal contractors have been placed on leave, especially me. Now, do we get paid during this time? I hope we do. That is to be determined whether if the federal government will fund the organization I work for. I mean, if we have a government shutdown, then there is no money coming within because they have not approved the funding for PCSI, for the people I work for. But anyway, I gotta say, it is already been a couple of days since we were told to go home early on Friday. And, they had to bring all the equipment down, they had to do a lot of things. But midnight tonight, which that is 3 hours away from now, we are expected a government shutdown. Now, the good thing about it is my rent for October is paid for the month. But I have another situation that I'm worried about. The grocery store. I've been trying to get a hold of my dad, and so far, uh, I need his. Yeah, I can see him sitting in the dark, just watching me, what I'm doing. Is that weird kid. It's the one I told you guys about, the one that always asks stupid questions. And I'm sitting up there looking at him, and he's looking at me like, oh, what's he doing? But anyway, guys, yeah, it is a beautiful night. And yeah, let's get back to the subject about talking about Dad. So I shot my dad a text about 3 o'clock this afternoon, or it could have been a lot earlier than that. But anyway, I have not received a reply back from him. My groceries in the fridge are running short, and I'm trying to avoid eating what I have left because I don't have no money to go to the grocery store. That right there is a bad thing right there. When you don't have any money in your accounts are at negative, because already paid the electric bill, the Wi-Fi, everything for the month of October. And yeah, only have a limited amount of food left. I got some chicken nuggets and got some pancakes and sausage. That's just about it. That's all I got left. I don't have anything else. Maybe one ice cream bar, why not? But anyway, we are expected to shut down at midnight. And it's going to be pretty hard for a lot of us that are in the federal contracting. You know, that's what I'm thinking about right now is how are we going to survive with the federal government shutting down on us? Because Republicans and Democrats, they're fighting each other instead of resolving the issue, trying to prevent the shutdown. And they need to cut spending. They need to, a lot of things. They need a lot of work on these things. They need to help us. They need to help people that are being affected by the shutdown. And that's what they need to start doing is helping those that are in need. And they need to put money out there where all of us can have it and say, hey, this money is used for going to the grocery store, to pay your bills, to do this, to do that. It's not to go crazy on. Like buy a TV or go out on a spending spree, and that money needs to be used for food, groceries, and resources. Nothing else. Whatever you have left, conserve to the best of your knowledge. Because you run out like I did, yeah, big mistake. You're going to end up in the hole. But, so yeah, hopefully we will find out at midnight whether if the shutdown is for real. But I don't know if we are going to work this week or next week or the week after that. We could be out 2 to 3 days to 2 to 3 weeks. So it's determined what happens in the shutdown. I gotta say, I reached out to my dad about 2 to 3 o'clock this afternoon, telling him that I'm getting low on food. And I didn't receive no reply from him. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I mean, we barely have enough money to even afford to go to the grocery store. I mean, I can't right now. Like I said, all I have is pancake and sausage, even chicken nuggets with tomato ketchup. That's all I got. I don't have anything else. But anyway, so I think my dad will watch this episode and he'll say, yeah, John, I'll send you some money and you go out to the store and get you something, fill up your refrigerator, you know. And me and my roommates, we share a fridge. And, well, so far, we barely have enough room to fit even a whole month's supply of food in there. Now, and being in apartment life, I gotta say, if I had my own refrigerator, I wouldn't come across that situation. I could fill it up with frozen foods. I could fill it with almost anything. And that food would last me at least a couple weeks. You know? But with me and this one other guy sharing a refrigerator, I mean, I can't go nuts and overbuying. And I think it is due time to go back to the grocery store. But yet, for me, don't have the money to do that. Because the federal shutdown is imminent. It's possible. And, I hopefully think that we will get a paycheck coming up. And, I don't know what's going to happen if the federal government shuts down at midnight. Then pretty much all of us federal contractors are put out of work. The millions of military, those that are in the military, will have to go to work without being paid. And that's not right. I mean, for a lot of us to not get paid, how are we going to survive if we're not being paid? And I hope they can resolve the issue in Washington and say, hey, look, we need to come to a consensus where we can avoid the shutdown and avoid closing down the government. You know, that's what people up there need to do, especially McCarthy for that matter. He needs to come to a consensus of, you know, especially Matt Gaetz was telling him, he's like, hey, we need to avoid the government shutdown because if we shut down the government, then then that would be bad for a lot of people that work in federal contracting. That, PCSI and TRDI were federal contractors being laid off just temporarily until they can find a better solution to to open up the government again and allow the funding to continue within these organizations. But I gotta say, guys, it's not looking good. And yeah, 3 hours left until midnight. So I am expected a message from my boss. So everybody in the organization is going to get a message from the boss, whether we go to work on Monday or whether we don't. If we don't, and it comes down to we are in the federal lockdown, then pretty much I'll just head to my parents' house in Brady and I'll be out there for a few weeks. But hey, good news about it is we can film some Love's new series while we're out there. I didn't even tell y'all the secret yet. My dad, he just purchased a garage. It's gonna be the filming studio garage, in my opinion, where we can have a good time filming episodes of Love's new series. And so far, it's where me and Love could be when we can hang out and film episodes for the sequel series too. Now that 4 episode premiere on Friday night, that was good because we have just wrapped the conclusion of the Springwood series. We spent 8 seasons and 10 episodes within that home. And now as we look at Friday night, October 13th, when all new episodes return right here to Baker J Studios, that is also going to be good too. And yeah, for the sequel series 2, we do plan to go back to production and hope that we get a lot more than what we're getting. And that is with all the episodes to conclude the first season of the sequel series 2. Not to mention, yes, the series is renewed for a second, a third, a fourth season. And we are pretty much ready to film those seasons. Well, post-production. But there's going to be a lot of new episodes coming into the fall of 2024, going into these new years where we could keep the series alive, and that's what I will do. Everybody loves a dog show. Everybody wants what's best for it. And I will continue to do what is best for it. You know, Love's new series has ran on my channel for already 8.5 years. And so far, we still have a long way to go on the show. I mean, with season 9 just months away from premiering, and so far for the sequel series 2, season 1 will actually be season 10. And then season 2 will be 11, season 3 would be 12,